Alright everyone, patch 1.3 Wuthering Wave livestream has just ended, and man oh man are we going to be expecting a lot of new things that are coming in the patch. It has been a bit of a quiet patch 1.2, but I'm pretty sure you guys are aware that it was a filler patch, but I feel 1.2 is really good as well because the Moon Lantern event or Moon Chase Festival event was actually really wasn't that bad. Plus we got free Shangli Yao, so all of that was good. Now 1.3 we're going to be expecting Black Shaw as well as new 5-star limited character, our lovely Shorekeeper. Oh my god, she's a beauty. Now I'm pretty sure it would have been quite easy for design to pull on Shorekeeper had it not been for our lovely Camellya, who's also coming right after her, which does put many of us in quite a tough position, and I am included as well, which is why today's video we're going to be focusing on discussing about Shorekeeper and Camellya, so that I can give you guys my personal advice and some of the speculation to which is going to be the best choice for you guys to go here, because the decision between choosing either the blue pill or the red pill in this time around for you guys to swallow, especially if you do not have the asteroids to go for both character, is something that tears us apart many of the time. Okay guys, let me introduce you to today's game sponsor, Ecocalypse, which is surely going to catch your attention. So Ecocalypse is an RPG style game with an amazing 2D action strategy gameplay where there are some of the most beautiful character designs I've seen in recent gacha games. Just take a look at these playable characters here guys. They have very nice design. I really like looking at their artwork, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too, which we all know what are the reasons why. Ecocalypse provides an amazing apocalyptic exploration experience while you stand alongside with your charming girls to enjoy the experience. You can have a time-saving and relaxing card battle with top-tier gameplays animations, providing a really fun experience. I was quite surprised how well animated the ultimate animations are in this game, and I'm having quite a blast playing the games right now. So download Ecocalypse for free on multiple platforms like iOS, Android and PC today guys. There will be a link in my descriptions. Once again, thank you Ecocalypse for sponsoring this video. Now first off, we'll discuss a bit about what Shorekeeper actually do. Overall, from what we know, you guys can expect that she's going to be kind of like a secondary version of Verena, or in some situation, I would say that she would be an upgrade toward your Verena. But either way, if you're looking into the account situation, it's going to be a good thing regardless, because at this point in time, other than Bajor, Verena is basically the most important character in many of the team, and you're always going to be having Verena no matter what, unless you're kind of a player who really loves soloing or don't really care about healing too much. So basically the best part about Shorekeeper is that she's obviously going to be healing your team to a really good amount, but the more important thing is that she has the ability to buff your crit rate and crit damage of your on-field character, which is a really nice thing I would say, because if you look into it, it's a very rare thing for a character in many different games to have access to the ability of buffing both crit rate and crit damage to a decent amount. How you're going to be triggering it is, first off, you have to cast her Liberation, and then there's going to be an extra 2 level of her Liberation stacking. First off, whenever you switch onto another character's intro skill, her Liberation is going to go into kind of like a level 1 stack, where she gives an extra maximum of 12.5% crit rate for your team. You will know it's level 1 when her Liberation circle is turned into purple. And then when you do another intro skill, her Liberation will now turn into gold, where it's going to have like the second buff, where this time around it's going to be giving your on-field character a maximum of a 25% crit damage increase. So this definitely going to be very good for on-field DPS character. Now the only downside I would say this time is that you are required to trigger at least 2 intro skill in order for her to have a maximum Liberation buff stack. That means usually the second character, whenever you're on the first level of her Liberation buff, is not going to be having the 25% crit damage damage buff. That's the first thing. And secondly, if your third intro skill character takes too long for the second liberation buff time, some of the buff that Shorekeeper may be having, for example, like if she's running the Bellborn buff might already have been expired, so your on-field DPS character might not have the specific buff. Unlike Verena as a character where she's able to trigger all of her buff very fast and instantly, which is especially valuable in a duo DPS team. For example, some of you maybe have been running like a Changli and a Havoc MC character. Both of the character will still be able to have the extra buff. A Shorekeeper on the other hand may take a lot longer, and many of the time, for example, Havoc MC may not be getting that specific buff. Now, while of course that's only me discussing about the downside bit, but overall, as you can see, the crit rate and crit damage buff can be quite significant. So definitely Shorekeeper value is there. Not to mention some of her other interesting things that she can do, like help you run around the overworld very fast. Yeah, because she has the ability to turn into the cute little butterfly and roam around for you. Now it does consume stamina, but you're going to be flying at a speed that is a lot faster than your normal running speed, and of course you can do some extra collecting for you during that part, so it can actually be quite nice. As you can see, her normal attack animation looks very good, but she's not going to be the character that do a lot of damage for you just like Verena, so it's just going to be there for you to enjoy. Now for Camellya, obviously we know absolutely zero information on Camellya at this point, so how the hell can we actually prepare for this? Now I would say at this point in time I can only make certain speculation in terms of what weapon and style of gameplay Camellya is going to be, so that we're going to be basing on that and make our decision. So now, first of all, since Shorekeeper is already pretty much a support healer character, I don't think that Camellya will have any chance of being an extra support character for your team, especially when Camellya is a character that many of us are expecting and would love to have her on our account. I think Wuthering Waves should be planning to have her as an on-field DPS character. That's what I feel. If there is going to be a pretty popular character that everyone's looking forward to, it should be more likely a character that spans more on-field time so that people can enjoy. Now, there has been speculation in terms of Camellya being a sword Havoc character, which I say she being a Havoc element kind of makes sense in terms of her personality. Now, so she being a sword character, I do feel that it's kind of like something that would make a decent sense, because overall, if you look into it, Camellya just give off a feeling of she being a rectifier character. However, Shorekeeper has just been a rectifier character. Plus, we've already been having so many rectifier characters that Camellya shouldn't really be a rectifier character anymore. Now, obviously, she's not going to be the type to hold a broad blade, and she being a gauntlet character is obviously not going to be a thing either. Which leaves us into a situation where it's going to be either pistol or a sword. If she's going to be a sword character, I think many of us would have an easier time or investing into Camellya, because sword weapon series does have a slightly more good weapon. Plus, I feel that many of us have already gotten the 5-star standard sword, which is actually a pretty decent one. But who knows, if she becomes a pistol character and 1.4 comes, we got some good pistol free-to-play options for you guys to get. That'll be an easier time for you. But more importantly, what her kit does is obviously going to be a more crucial thing. So this point is obviously going to be very hard to predict, but definitely Kuro will look into creating a very unique and special kit for Camellya to make her special and worthwhile for us to actually decide to pull. But the more important thing, if you are considering in terms of investment and meta wise, is whether or not she's already having a good support character to help her into achieving what she does, right? Because considering characters such as Jinxie, where when she first arrived, she would love to have character in terms of doing coordinated attack for her to reach her maximum stacking, where in which at that point, the best character would always have been a Yuan Wu to help her out, or like a Changli. At this point, she still haven't got like a best of the best support character to be fitting for her into the final slot. Now obviously, universal support character like Verena and Shorekeeper will most of the time be a very good character for you to slot in, but considering that in the future, if we have character that scales off of HP, then they, especially Verena, may have a tougher time in terms of buffing. Who knows if Camellya will be the first DPS character to scale skill off of HP, because for example, I just feel like she's going to be the type that tries to sap out your enemy's HP, so that might be an interesting kind of thing. But obviously those are all just going to be pure speculation at this point. And so coming into the part where we try to answer the most important question of the video is whether or not you should be choosing the blue pill or the red pill. And obviously the best decision is going to be something like this, right? Is you holding off on not pulling for Shorekeeper until we know more information on Camellya. Now, as much as I would not want to say this, because obviously I don't always support leak, as it can be damaging to both, the players and, Kuro themselves. But in situation like this, it will always be best to actually wait for, around 1 to 2 weeks after Shorekeeper is released, which is then we may have some information regarding Camellya's kit from, quote unquote leaks information here and there. Obviously, those are not official information and the kit can change, but then you will be able to have more information to make the right decision. But overall, from my standpoint, if you're looking into purely meta wise, then I do value Shorekeeper a lot, and I personally do want to invest into her quite significantly, because we have seen how important Verena as a character is for your account. We also have Baijiu, right, but she is never going to be replacing Verena, especially when Shorekeeper comes. Shorekeeper is definitely going to be a lot more valuable than Baijiu across many of your different team building, that it can get pretty valuable, especially in the TOA sections where, yeah, I'm pretty sure many of us has been struggling a bit with not having specific healer and support buffer for your team. Compared to the amount of buff Baijiu has compared to Shorekeeper, oh my god, I don't think that's worth a comparison, because Shorekeeper buffing can at times be a lot higher than Verena's, which is why, especially if Camellya in the future does become a DPS character, then I would still value Shorekeeper a lot more, because if you guys has been watching me for some times, you know that I really value support character that has access to good buffing capability, because they are very much universal and very important across many of your team building. So if you were to ask me, if I were to look into the best investment wise, I would most likely choose Shorekeeper regardless. But well, if you guys are trying to decide which character is actually hotter between Shorekeeper or Camellya, red pill or blue pill, oh my god, honestly guys, I just can't decide. I think at that point you guys might as well just try and flip a coin, so that it helps you to choose based on your personal preference. So guys, I think that's all I have to say regarding these two characters at this point in time. If you have any further point you want to make in terms of discussing, feel free to leave it down in the comment section, as I would love to discuss more about these two characters down there. If you're new to the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to not miss out on my future Wuthering Wave videos, because they are going to be coming up a lot. I really appreciate you guys staying with me till this part of the video guys, and with that I wish you a super day, and I will catch you on my next video.